Hello traders and welcome in a new daily market analysis video. Today is the 13th of April 2022 and this video is brought to you by the market research team at P. O'Brien. The week for the central bank meetings started basically with the Reserve Bank of New Zealand having a rate hike of 50 basis points. Today we are having some expectations about the Bank of Canada meeting and we will be expecting the European Central Bank meeting tomorrow. How could we trade given those events, very high risk events, and how to trade using the technical analysis given this expected volatility? All of this will be discussed in today's video. Please stay tuned. Starting with the economic agenda for today, basically, we can see that the Reserve Bank of New Zealand interest rate decision was somehow a surprise to the markets. Basically, the expectations or the previous interest rate was around 1%. The expectations was basically a rate hike of 0.25% or 25 basis points. However, the monetary policy decision was to hike the rates with 50 basis points, reaching 1.50%, which is basically the biggest rate hike that the Reserve Bank of New Zealand has done since 2000. Basically, we had also the CPI or the Consumer Price Index from the British economy, the inflation as well. It's higher than the expected, 7% year over year for the month of March. Today, we do have some important data that we'll be looking for. And of course, on top of that is the monetary policy report from the Bank of Canada, as well as the interest rate decision. So we had the Reserve Bank of New Zealand, we do have the Bank of Canada, and tomorrow we'll be having the European Central Bank, a very important week from the monetary policy. We also have the crude oil inventories numbers to be announced today, which is a weekly figure that we always have an eye on, and at the end we do have the Bank of Canada press conference. We do also have the producer price index, which is a secondary measure of inflation, especially that we had a higher than expected inflation from the CPI numbers in the US economy. However, the PPI, it's something secondary. It won't have that much effect in the markets. So that was all for today's economic agenda. Let's have a quick look on the charts and the technical analysis. By having a look on the dollar index, we can see here that despite that we have been talking for maybe the past 1 week about a bearish divergence taking place on the dollar index on the 4-hour time frame, we can now start to see that the dollar index is gaining bullish momentum on the 4-hour time frame, especially that we did have a breakout above yesterday's level that we mentioned, which was 100.18, a break above. Basically, we expected a fall from those levels. We expected a retreat from the levels of 100.18, which basically happened during the numbers and the release from the CPI. We had this brilliant downward move. We reached our target. However, it continued to move to the upside. We had a break, a close, and a brilliant retest with a very bullish momentum here. And we're starting to expect, we are basically changing our technical bias on the dollar index on the very short term, from short basically to long, because on the 4-hour time frame we have nothing near or any important resistance levels before 100.85. so this is basically what we'll be having as our target on the dollar index. Having a look on the gold trading currently on the 4-hour time frame as well as the daily time frame, we are just trading around a key and a very important resistance level. Basically, whenever we touch this level, you can see how many points and how many dollars basically the dollar on the gold trading pulled back. So basically we are trading around those levels at the moment. The 4-hour momentum is not basically on the side to go for more extended gains to the upside. We are expecting a pullback from those levels. So the key level to me during the day is 1978. As long as we're trading below this level, we will basically be shorting the gold back to the levels of 1950 one more time. The last thing that we need to check today is basically the US crude oil. We are still on our long bias. We basically had this brilliant upward move from the levels of support 93.50. Any retracement or any sideways range is basically a good opportunity to go long on the short term. We do have our target set around 103.92 and then 105.57. Let's have a quick another look on the US Dow Jones. Basically, we mentioned that the major US indices are basically having a very strong support, and we had this brilliant move to the upside. Another retest of the levels of 34,100 might be expected on the short term. However, it might offer another very good opportunity to go long on the very short time frame. So that was all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned for another videos and please stay safe.